Yes, yes. We never let a customer down. Yeah, I'll update the pricing. I know we just agreed on the new prices. I'll get those updated. I'll put the discounts through. Yep. You did what? You placed an order just now? Of course I saw that. Yeah, it's in our system. Did it ship? Oh, I'm not sure. I can't see whether it shipped. I'll have to check with John. We'll get back to 10,000 orders in the next 2 days. That's what you want to place. Yep, absolutely. We'll be ready for that. Yep, your sales rep's going to know about it. Yep. Yeah, ordering online, seamless. All that new pricing is going to flow through. Yep, it'll all be up and running by tomorrow for sure. Okay, thank you so much for your business. Look forward to working with you. Okay, bye. OMG. What am I going to do? How am I going to get all of that done tonight, ready for tomorrow? I had to do that. This is my business. I have to make these decisions, and now I have to call IT. What a nightmare. Do you have this problem? Are you scared to make the right business decisions? You try to run a good business, but your systems are holding you back. Your IT team keeps saying, slow down, stop making decisions. You make it too hard. All our systems don't work together. Well, if that's what you suffer, then your team needs to meet my team here at eOne. Our mission is to make sure that all of your systems work together. That's why we exist, to let you choose the very best software for running your business, and we'll make it all work together. Whether that's a CRM system, an e-com system, a marketing engine, membership management, doesn't matter. Project management, help desk. We're here to make it work together, to let you choose the best of breed. The days of picking one giant system that would do everything, they're done. No, that's not the way we do it. Can you imagine a mechanic given one tool, just a screwdriver, and he's got to use that as a hammer to repair your car? He could do it, but it's never going to be as effective as using the correct tools and using them properly. So we want to give you the best tools that you can use to run your business. So stick with us. I'm going back in character for just 1 minute. So we're going to take you through a scenario and show you how we've fixed this problem for the business we're dealing with. Now, Chris, are you still online? I know I can't come to your office because we're in COVID, but are you there somewhere? Are you able to help me? I've got an important problem.
Yeah, what do you need?
Chris, I've got really good news. I just closed a big deal.
That sounds good.
Bad news in that I need someone's help, and you're the only guy online, to get all of this up and running and working tonight. I'm sorry, you might have to cancel the family outings today and work with me till, I don't know, it could be all night.
Okay, well, tell me what you need and we'll take it from there.
Well, we just closed this really big deal. Firstly, they just promised me that they'd ordered a big order just this afternoon. Can you check for me? I don't know how to check. Can I find out if that order actually landed? Where do I see that?
Okay, yeah, let me, I need to share my screen here.
Yeah, that'd be great. I can see that.
You should be able to see my screen now, Martin.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so you said we need to check on some order information. Let's go
I
right
do.
inside
I
of
need to see what
CRM.
orders have come through from Giordano's today.
Okay, yep, let's go right inside of CRM and we can see that information. So if I pull up Giordano's,
yeah,
I'm pulling the live invoices from Business Central inside of here. So if we look at it,
wait. Why are you in CRM? I'm looking for invoices. Like they'll be in the ERP system.
they are this, and this is great because again, I spend most of my day inside of CRM, so it's great that I can have a live look into the Business Central data without necessarily needing to have an integration running to move that into the system. But this is just giving me
So you're in the sales team. You're a sales guy, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay, and you've got direct access to all of those invoices in. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah, exactly. You can see if we look at this, we're pulling all 34 of the invoices we have for that Giordano's account.
Okay.
And one of the cool things I think you said we had you said it was coming in to just today. So
Mm-hmm.
let's go look at just the ones that are coming in today and just show you can do real-time filtering on here. So I'll just pull everything that I guess is coming this week. How about we'll just see. And again, that's pulling live data. So here we go. Looks like there's a pretty big invoice for Giordano's that just came in today. So that's probably the one.
I think that's it.
Okay. So looks like we got it in the system. What else did you need to know about that?
Well, they were asking me if it had shipped, and I had no visibility into FedEx
Okay.
and whether they came or not. How do we do that?
All right. Let's look at a couple things here then. I think one thing that might be nice to know is which location, because they have a couple different locations. Giordano's does. So let's pull that location right on here. That's another one of the columns, and we can see. Looks like that one's coming from the Schaumburg location. That's really nice to know. And then you said you wanted to know where what the shipping status of it was. And so you can see right over here, we have a live look into the tracking information. Because that tracking number is stored inside of Business Central, we're pulling it live from FedEx, UPS, wherever it's coming from. So we can see that, yep, that's been delivered. There's the path it took to get there.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, again, just being able to sit inside of the system I spend most of my day in, and we can get all the information that we need about this account.
Wow. The other thing they mentioned to me was that they'd logged a support ticket with us. That one of the packages we'd sent last week was damaged. I want to check that out. I can't imagine we hadn't got back to them. Our help desk is very good.
Okay, yeah. I actually have another piece of PopDoc embedded inside of here that we have a live look inside of their Zendesk system. You know, again, we're not using the cases for this this particular part of our business. We're actually using the help desk system called Zendesk, and so we can see that they've logged 3 tickets. But you said there was one for a damaged package. Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that that's been entered in there. Should we enter that for them?
Yeah, that would be super if we could get that for Mr. Giordano. I think
Okay,
that would
cool.
look great.
Well, let's do it right now. Right while we're on the phone here, we can do it right from inside of CRM. We can hit
But we
that
don't we
system.
don't create tickets in CRM, Chris. We do it over in Zendesk.
No, it's actually going to go into right inside of Zendesk. Okay, we'll just put some words in there. Probably should set that to a higher priority, since it sounds like he thought he had entered it, but it didn't get inside of there.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So we'll get the team on that. That'll have a brand new ticket. And just to show you, right, if I jump inside of Zendesk right now, you can actually see that here's a brand new ticket that just came in. If I pull it up, you can actually see here's the title that we gave it. Here's the details of the comment, and the priority has been set to high. So you can see that's inside of the Zendesk system, not inside of CRM.
So we're not in CRM now. We're now in Zendesk. Yeah.
Yeah, and one other really cool thing is you can actually see we have an app in here that kind of flips the script, where we can actually, without leaving Zendesk. So for our help desk agents, again, I don't spend my day here, but some of our help desk agents spend their entire day here. They can actually see some information on the contact from CRM, or even you know, some information on the account, and again, if they have any open opportunities. So it's pretty cool that
Well,
we have some of those things.
so Chris, you know me. I don't spend much time in CRM. It's not always. I can get access to all this information. I didn't know it was available.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple things. Before I show you that, I
Yeah.
want to show you a couple things. This might be something you might be interested in. I know you don't always just like looking at huge lists of data, but we have a couple of ways of graphically representing that. And so you can see, here's the breakdown of all the products we're selling them. This is coming directly from Business Central, and you can see we sell a lot of cheese to the pizza company. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I think that's kind of it's kind of important to think about here, though, and again, before depending on, you know, what system you're going to work in, is that we have the capability of you know, making some changes, right? So if I wanted to actually open up that customer, for example, inside of Business Central, I can actually right from there, I have an action that will allow me to open that up and see all of the information about our Giordano's customer or account. And then as you can also see, I have that same.
You screen popped Business Central directly to that customer from within CRM.
That's correct. See, again, wherever you work, we're giving you the tools to drill down to the systems that you need to.
Wow.
And so now again, this is the customer. I could have drilled down to the invoice and maybe made some pricing changes there. One interesting thing, since we're in here, you can actually see that we again have some embedded information. So right on this, we have some CRM information embedded inside of Business Central that's coming directly from CRM on the account information and the invoices, as well as some all of the open invoices inside of here as well.
But back to my real question.
Yes.
You know, I don't like logging into ERPs. The accountants get all fancy when I go in there and start asking questions. The salespeople don't like it when I look at their opportunities. How do I get to this without going into that system?
Yep, sounds good. So we actually, I think you spend quite a bit of your day in Teams, right?
Outlook and Teams, I live there.
Outlook and Teams,
and,
yep.
And Snapchat.
Well, perfect. Well, I can help you with Teams, because we have it's an embeddable right inside of Teams, so you can take whatever data you need from PopDoc. And so here I have a couple lists. I have those same invoices, right? I have that attached to a channel inside of Teams. So now it's getting, the freshest data that we need inside of here. And I could pull other information, right? It could be my help desk tickets. It could be pulling from GitHub. Here happens to be, in this case, all of the feature requests we're getting for PopDoc. So you can see that coming directly from GitHub, or even maybe some extra project information that we have. And literally each of these takes about 30 seconds to embed inside of the Teams ecosystem.
So what you're saying, I didn't need to call you at all. I could have just gone to Teams and got all of this information?
Exactly. Yep. I put that out on the channel that you have access to.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know
that.
Huh. Yep. Well, look, we've got an audience from DynamicsCon that just seem to be looking in on us today. Can you take a few minutes and just show them how you did all of that stuff? Because I'd love them to, so they can benefit from this too. Can you step us through that for a few minutes?
Yeah, that sounds great. So if I log into just the web application for PopDoc where everything's set.
Well, let's go back. You keep saying this word PopDoc. I don't know what that is. Why do you keep saying PopDoc?
Yeah, PopDoc is really the engine that's driving all the things that you've seen. So while we've basically given you applications that are embedded inside of CRM that have the same look and feel of CRM, or again, some of the other systems we showed like Zendesk and Business Central, it is all being driven by PopDoc, which is just this amazing query engine that allows you to, really expose the data wherever you need to see it.
Okay.
So again, some of the same interface. I think that's maybe a little bit different inside of here, right? Is if I were to pull up tickets in here, I don't have this filtered anymore. This is now pulling all of the tickets that I have, as opposed to just the ones for Giordano's. So that's just a different way of looking at it. I can quickly switch between other lists, or again, you can see I have a number of other connectors up here. So if I wanted to pull some information from Dynamics 365 customer engagement, or Business Central in this case, or again, maybe some legacy ERP systems, or some of the other systems that we have, we can pull all that information inside of here. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. If we look at the connectors, you'll see I have a whole host of them inside of here. But if we were to add another one, you'll see there's a bunch of them inside of here. And I'll highlight just a couple, because we can connect to anything with a web service. I think that's a really key thing out there today, is that a lot of these cloud applications that people are using, these best of breed apps, like you said, our team has chosen to use Zendesk instead of the cases inside of CRM. And so because of that decision they made, now we can connect to that. Now we happen to have a dedicated connector for Zendesk, but if it was one of the other help desk solutions that we needed to pull in, we could do that. Or even some legacy systems like SQL Server, like custom applications there, we can pull that data in. Now we're looking at my Dynamics 365 customer engagement connector. and you'll see that I have all of these default groups that are coming inside of here. And more importantly, I have over 50, 60 standard lists out of the box. If I wanted to add any other entities, those are available to me all from the metadata. So anything with custom entities or any of those custom attributes, those are all coming in from that CRM metadata. If we go ahead and look at down below, what I want to show you is that we also have the capability of adding custom lists. So what's really cool about this is that we can do some scenarios where I may be comparing my Business Central data to my Dynamics 365 customer engagement data, and I want to know which customers don't exist inside of BC but they exist inside of customer engagement. And so I can do a comparison list. I could join information if I wanted to pull some custom attributes onto a list. I could even merge multiple lists together. So this is kind of interesting when you start talking about between connectors, or maybe even a hybrid scenario where you're pulling some on-premise data with cloud data. We can do all of those scenarios inside of here. Another really important thing I think to look at is, again, if we just pull one of the really standard ones here, if I pull contacts, you'll see it's pulling all of the fields. So again, any of them that you have that are custom, those are all going to pull inside of here. But the important part is that you can also add calculations. So if it makes sense in your data, if you need to add additional fields, that's all available to you, as well as, you know, actions that we may need to put on to drill back to that record inside of customer engagement, or drill back to the record in Business Central, or even do some more of those other types of actions where we can do stuff like create a brand new ticket or change a priority inside of another system like Zendesk. So those are some of the things this is how easy it is to set up these lists. It takes a matter of minutes.
Chris, that's all really cool, but how did you get it into CRM so it looks so native? That
Awesome.
must have taken a whole bunch of code.
Well, that's a really good part of the story, because we're taking things that maybe would have been very developer centric in the past, and now I can show you that this is something that we can do without necessarily needing to be a developer. So it's something we call widgets. I'm going to add a brand new widget inside of here. And so if we wanted to call this for DynamicsCon, I can create a number of different types of widgets. I'm going to create one that's just a single record. And so if I wanted to pull something from, again, maybe my customer engagement, if I wanted to pull something from my accounts or contacts, I can do that. If I had a favorite on here, you can see I would pull all my favorites. So maybe if I wanted to just see the contacts that were created today or whatever makes sense. But that's how easy you do that. You pick what options, if you want to allow the filtering or refreshing or even the grouping, those kinds of things. You can choose whatever options you want. I'll just quickly choose all of them. And then if we look at it, we can actually, right from inside of here, I can see that we have all of the code that we need to just copy and paste into other systems. So like inside of CRM, we just need to put that iframe inside of here. And one of the key things is you can see we actually have built in is a style, so it has the same look and feel of customer engagement, as opposed to, you know, doesn't matter where the data is coming from, we can give you that same look and feel. Okay, so you can see basically this gives you all of the tools that you need to quickly embed that iframe inside of CRM. And again, that's literally, you know, a couple minute exercise as opposed to a huge development exercise. And now you can have any kind of data. This basically becomes virtual entities on steroids, because we can pull data from any source and plug it right inside of customer engagement as you need it.
That's great. Amazing, Chris, and really appreciate that. But, you know, I'm on a deadline. I've got to get some stuff done. But I've got all the information I need now. So thank you for that. I can grab it myself.
Now, yeah, perfect.
I also need to do is update a whole bunch of data. I want to update the pricing, and I've got to push stuff from here up into the e-com system, and I don't know how to do all that. Is that you, or do I need to talk to someone else?
Yeah, what I'd say is, I mean, if you were trying to change prices just on like this record, right, the invoice that we looked at, you said you were going to give them some kind of discount. We could do that. We could run an action to do, Power Automate to change the price, or maybe even run a Smart Connect map to run price changes. But I think what you want is you actually want to change prices for a number of items, and that's where I think Smart Connect is probably going to help you out. So I think
Okay,
you
so
should try to get a hold of Chris Hansen because he's the guy that's going to help you with that.
okay, so I need someone smarter than you for that piece. I'll give you a buzz, but thanks for your help, Chris. If I need you again, are you going to be online tonight?
Yep, I will.
Thank you,
Sounds good.
appreciate it. All right, let me call Chris. Hey, Chris Hansen, are you still online tonight?
Yes, I am. What do you need, Martin?
Oh, perfect, Chris. I've got good news for you.
I'll take good news.
We just told some big stories, and I promised a whole bunch of stuff to a customer, and that's really good because we get sales. The bad news is I got to have this all up and running by tonight, or at least first thing in the morning. I'm hoping you can help me. I gave a whole set of discount pricing to our customer Giordano's, and the other thing, given COVID, we've been diversifying, and I know we've been selling pizzas, but another side business we're running is I'm selling them handbags. So we're really getting into the fashion business as well. Are you able to help me get the prices updated tonight? And the trick is, I know you're probably gonna have to type it all in, but I need the prices updated in the ERP, that Business Central. I need them in the CRM tool, and I need them online in our Magento e-com system. Can you, I know that'll take for ages, but can you help me out with that?
Yeah, I can definitely help with that, Martin. We seem to go through this every other week, at least once a month, where you're changing up our pricing. Now, I've built something that I think is going to help you out quite a bit, but I want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. You're talking about this website you had us put together here, right? Where we're going through and actually looking at our handbags, the backpacks, the different totes that we have right on our customer-facing web portal, right?
Yeah, that's where our customers place the orders. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then you also need it in our financial system and also over in 365 sales. So everybody's working off that same data. It's got the same pricing, right?
Yeah, I know they're all different systems, but yeah, we need to share the data everywhere.
Well, last time you updated it manually, you didn't update all the systems. So I'm going to fix that for you. And I've actually built something that's going to help you do it all in one spot. It's going to be easy to use. There's no way you can mess it up here. So
okay.
Can you see my screen? Do you see that I've got Excel open on my main screen?
Again. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to walk you through this one time. Then I'll send you the document here, and you can go ahead and update whatever pricing you want, whenever you want from this point on. So what I've done is I'm using Smart Connect to tie in the data that I'm going to put on this workbook, this sheet. We're going to tie it to Business Central. We're going to tie it to 365 Sales, and we're also going to tie it out to Magento, as Magento is powering our website where everyone places our orders. So what I've done with Smart Connect is first I've set it up to pull back the data for our different items that we're working with. Now, I just clicked the Get Data button. It automatically brought in all of our data from our website. And I'll go back there in a moment to show you which ones we're going to be changing here.
Okay,
now,
well, those first 4 items there, I've given them a new price on that.
Yes, yep. And you said we're discounting everything here? We gotta drop it a bit. Okay.
Yeah, like $10 off each.
Yeah, well, we'll do a more heavy discount. You can change this around if you want. We'll do a couple 35s and a couple $40 entries. I'll do the first couple. We'll send this through, and then we'll see the results, and I'll let you change the rest of the prices to whatever you want. Now,
yay.
I know you mentioned pricing, but we've set this up and it's flexible in Smart Connect. I can map any one of these fields I want to any of those systems. If we wanted to start changing around our description, or if we had to update the unit cost on any of these, we can go ahead and make that change as well. We'll stick to pricing for now. We'll do one thing at a time.
I'd love to upchange and reduce the cost, but I don't think that's in my power.
So what I'm going to do is I'll just click that run map or that run integration button. And what it's doing is it's kicking off our process to go ahead and update the pricing in all 3 of the systems at the same time. Now, for you, that's not going to look, all that different, because it looks fairly simple. We're just doing it on this one piece here. But once that completes, each of our systems is now going to have that completed. We're not going to have to worry about going in and updating each system manually from this point on. So let me go ahead and find that data for us here. All right, so I've ran that integration now. So let's go ahead and take a look at each one of those websites. So first off, we had the main Magento page. So when I refresh this, you know, I changed those first 4 on that list, Martin. Let's go ahead and hit refresh on here. And we're gonna see those have all been reduced. I did a discount price on each one of those first ones. Now, I'm not gonna look at all of those items, but just to prove that we've sent that across to our different locations, focusing on our overnight duffel, if I refresh that, down here, that price went from 85 down to 35. Same thing inside of Business Central. We've got 85 for the unit price on that overnight duffel again. When I refresh this, that's down to 35 as well. So all 3 of our systems went ahead and were updated from that one location. Just
You're
using
saying
this.
right now, the new pricing I just invented 20 minutes ago will now be accepted on orders online,
Yeah.
quote keyed in by a sales team, or an order straight to the accounts department.
Absolutely. And I'll do it again just to show that it's working. So if I change that Endeavor day trip backpack, the moment that this is complete, SmartConnect's made the changes in those systems. Your customers see it reflected on that site, and any new orders or invoices that are coming in are using that new pricing. Whatever you set it to, we're going to be using that.
Wow. So when I say all my systems work together to the customer, I'm actually telling the truth.
You are telling the truth. That is a fact. Now, you also mentioned that you're going to be bringing in all these different orders from the website. You said thousands of dollars, or tens of thousands.
$10,000 worth of orders in the next 2 days.
So I am logged into the site as, I'm not actually logged in yet. Let's go ahead and actually sign in with a sample customer that we've got, just to prove that our orders are going to flow through. So I'll go ahead and sign in as if I'm a customer on the site here. We'll go back to our backpacks, and let's go ahead and add a few of these to our cart. So I'm going to add in our messenger bag. We'll do an overnight duffel, and we'll do that driven backpack on here. So again, this is just our e-commerce site updating as I'm putting this data in. I can make this change. Your customer is going to enter that. But now, once we go through the checkout process, Martin, when I go ahead and complete this, SmartConnect is going to step back in once again, and it's going to ensure that this gets synced across to Business Central, to our financial system. So we should see we've got 3 items, got a quantity of 1, 3, and 1. Let's go ahead and complete that order here. Now, what that's going to give us is it's going to give us our new order number, just 9 in this case, with a lot of preceding zeros on that. That's going to be our external document number with how we're creating those transactions in SmartConnect. So for us to tie this back out and reference that, what we should see is that new order is going to be pulled across to Business Central as well. Now let me switch to Business Central. I'm going to go to our sales invoices because I'm going to be creating them as invoices once they flow across. And we should see that new entry in there. It's going to have our line items on it. And if you want to test it more later, you can add more data to it if needed. So there you can see our sample customer, Veronica. We've had a few different tests run through. Let's open up that last one that's tied to that external number, document 9 on there. And when I check out the line items, we've got our messenger bag, we've got the overnight duffel, we've got that backpack, and the different quantities that I set on each of them, along with that updated pricing that you had me push in earlier today. That's your order process coming down. SmartConnect's making that automatic. SmartConnect's letting you update your pricing from that one location. You don't have to dive into each system to make that change. Is that something that fits what you needed today?
I thought all this was going to take all night and probably days. And you're telling me they could place their orders tonight?
Yes. Yep. Anytime later today. As soon as you're done changing your pricing, as soon as you hit that run map button, they're good to go.
Wow, it's like magic. Can you just for our DynamicsCon viewers here, can you show me how you did some of that? You keep saying this word Smart Connect, but you haven't shown me. Can you just step me through what this tool is that does all this for you?
Absolutely. So Smart Connect's our integration platform that we have from eOne Solutions. And we've got 2 main deployment types of it. That lets you do either an on-premise deployment of Smart Connect, or in this case, we can go ahead and do our fully online smartconnect.com. And the idea behind it is we can use it for a wide variety of different use cases. As shown on the demo, we can use it for those manual uploads where we have to push data from a user-driven action, and in our case, the Excel sheet, having a user upload that. And we can also keep systems in sync. like we're doing with Magento and Business Central. We're having that run automatically on the back end there. So it allows us to synchronize data. We can do those user uploads. We can do data migration if needed. And the beauty of it is everything is configurable. We don't hard code any of the integration pieces. So I'll walk you through a few of the different setup portions to Smart Connect and kind of give you that high, 10,000 foot view of how an integration hangs together. Now, for any integration that we build, it's similar to PopDoc in the sense that we have connections inside of Smart Connect. And the idea of a connection in Smart Connect is anywhere you want to either send data to or anywhere that you want to pull data from. So it's either your destination or your data source on any integration you set up. Now, for this particular demo we ran through, we used the connections of Magento. We actually labeled it Magento 2 because we had made some updates to that. We use customer engagement or 365 sales. They're the same API from Smart Connect's perspective. And then we also use our Business Central connector. So as long as I have each one of those configured, I can use that in any integration we set up anywhere I want to pull that data source from, and anywhere I want to send it to. So the data source, again, it controls how we pick up that data. I'm not going to dive into that too deep right now, but it really just allows you to say, all right, do I want to pull a large chunk of data? Does my data source let me do a real-time trigger like 365 sales or CRM? Or does it let me go ahead and track that changed information and bring that across? Now, where it hangs together fully is under that process, that integration process. Sometimes we use the word map. That's where you combine your connections, the data you want to pull in, and then you set your individual field mapping and set up your integration fully. Now, in this environment, I've got a large selection of different integrations here to choose from, but I'll go to that final one that was running, or a version of that final one that was running. The orders to Business Central, in our case, we're bringing them across as invoices, but the layout and the structure are going to look very similar to any other integration we set up. So as this loads in, we'll have a few different tabs that we get to navigate across. First is the source tab. It's where we're getting our data from. Then the target and destination are where we're sending it to, and then also where we want to map the individual fields to as they're running. Now, integration ID and description, those just let you identify your integration. Once my browser responds, we'll switch to the source because that's where we actually start picking the main data. Now that our map is loaded in, like I mentioned, going to our source is where we're pulling this data from. In this case, we're just pulling our orders out of Magento on here. The target is being sent to Business Central. So you can see I've set up my Business Central connection. I get to choose where specifically we're going to. We're using a sample company for this demo. But then underneath the company that you choose which endpoints you're sending the data to specifically. So in this case, we're going to the invoice and the invoice lines, and we get to map that data through using our interface. Now, the integration tab, like I mentioned, this is where we map the specific fields. So you can see on the left here, all of these fields listed out. These are all the fields that are listed for that destination that we've chosen. So if I would have chose, customer instead of sales invoice, we'd have slightly different fields listed here, and we'd map, the different fields that are needed. If I was going to 365 sales and to say the quote, once again, the fields would be slightly different, but the setup of the screen would be very similar to one another. Now, as you can see, I've mapped a few of the source fields in there directly. If I expect the data to come perfectly from my data source, I can find that field in the list and just set it, mapping it by choosing it from that dropdown. Now, if the data doesn't match up perfectly, which commonly your systems don't match up perfectly to one another, we can go ahead and create additional columns that will allow you to transform or manipulate that data as it's being passed through. Now, I don't have time to jump into every one of these, but if I wanted to show the different options that we have on here, we can go ahead and use different forms of scripting. With our calculation, we can use rolling columns to generate next numbers. We can transform dates as they're being passed through, and a number of different fields and lookups that we can go ahead and generate as that integration is running. So we don't have to have that data perfect. From our source system to our destination, we can go ahead and transform it, map it through, and then that will be taken care of as part of that Smart Connect process. So once we have those fields mapped and we've done any of that data transformation that we need, that's the bare bones of a Smart Connect integration or a Smart Connect map. Now we can add on email alerts, we can add on error handling, we can add on different tasks to join maps together or send off other alerts as the process is running. But that's the basic idea of what it takes to build an integration out, set it up to different connections, and then start integrating and tying your systems together.
Well, Chris, that all looks pretty easy. So that's what made all that data move around. I'm just going to get comfortable again. You know, we all thought making all of our systems work together was really difficult. It's something that people said you could do, but it was really hard and it was really expensive. And that's where eOne comes in. We're the company that makes all of your systems work together. Now, you'll have seen there's two different ways to do it. We've got Smart Connect, which Chris just showed you, which is how we move data from one place to another. Now, there's times when you want to do that. If you're taking an order through e-commerce and you need that in your accounting system, absolutely, you need to move the data. Pricing needs to be in lots of locations. You need to move data. When you're migrating from a legacy system to a new one, you need to physically move data. But more often than not, there is an opportunity just to share the data. And that is the eOne difference. We're giving you the chance to share your data with the right people at the right place. If I'm a salesperson, I want to spend all day in CRM. Do not ask me to go and log into a reporting system, to go and remember a password to get into the accounting system. Nobody wants me in there. I need the data right where I am. If I'm an accountant, I don't want to log into another system. And if I'm the CEO, maybe Outlook or Teams is where I want to go. So giving people the data from whichever the best system you choose is for a particular business task, and sharing that data with the right people so they do their jobs better is what PopDoc does. So when you put those two together, we've got Smart Connect and PopDoc. That gives you the best of all scenarios to go, hey, let's not move huge volumes of data unless we absolutely have to. We'll just display it quickly, easily, and cost effectively. And when you do need to move data, hey, we're here for that too when we've got a solution. So making all of your systems work together is what eOne will do for you. Come and find us. And let me touch quickly on pricing before we go any further, because you want to know how affordable this is. We talked about that one. Jump over here. So for PopDoc, you've got entry-level pricing at as low as $19 a month and up to $160 a month with a $19 per user charge on top of that. It's almost free, and you can share your data absolutely anywhere. In regards to Smart Connect, again, we've got an entry-level price for those that are just integrating one or two things, up to a premium price where you've got a much more complex environment and you're moving a lot of data. We've kept the pricing very simple. You can budget for it. You'll know what it is. There's no surprises when it comes to the pricing. That's what we're going to talk about today. My name's Martin from eOne Solutions. Come visit our website, make contact with us, and we'd love to help you take all of your systems and make them work together. Big thanks for sticking with us, and a big thank you to DynamicsCon for having us today and sharing this information with you. Thank you very much.